Hi friends, Andrea here. I just wanted to make a video to share some of the jewelry that I have made during the 2020 pandemic since I've been sheltering in place. And I don't know about you guys, but it seems like having to shelter in place and not necessarily having easy access to just like go to the store whenever I want and buy things sort of forced me to I don't know, use what I had already and kind of inspired me to be more creative with the stuff that I already owned and didn't have to go out and buy new supplies. But I was also trying to do a no buy, more or less, like trying to only buy supplies that when I run out of them or supplies that are needed to finish a project. And I've been on this no buy challenge since about 2019, 2018, mid 2018, and I don't always, follow it. I sometimes buy things just because it's my birthday or it's Christmas and I want to get myself something, but I'm trying not to buy a ton of stuff anymore and just use the items that I already have because I have a lot of supplies and different hobbies that I have gotten into over the years. But anyway, that's the background of these pieces, and what I'll be showing today is I have 7 different sets that are just finished sets of jewelry. And when I say a set, I just mean bracelet and earring set, or bracelets and earring set, like multiple bracelets in this case. So the first set I have to share is a set that is at least it's turquoise colored stones. I don't know if those are actual turquoise stones or dyed howlite maybe, but they are turquoise kind of discs or hishis. And then I have them separated by the silver daisy spacers. And this is all stuff that I already had in my stash. I just hadn't used, and I didn't really know what to make with it. I was just kind of hanging on to it and I wasn't inspired. This silver fish bead is a Hill Tribe silver bead that I've had for a long time, and I didn't really know what was worthy of using it because it was, I don't know, it was like a $5 bead, and at the time that I bought it, that was expensive to pay for a single bead because I was probably like 18 years old or something. And I really like how the coral and turquoise look, that color combination looks. So I was inspired by that because I have a lot of jewelry that is turquoise and coral, and so I gravitated towards these red Picasso finish table cut glass beads, and they're a nice like opaque red, and a very vibrant kind of orangey red, not a cool toned blue red. So those just spoke to me as going together. I had been watching a lot of videos by Brittany from Turquoise Street. She has a YouTube channel, and she is also a fan of the coral and turquoise look and blends those colors together often. And I'm in agreement with her. Like, those colors just look really sharp together. So I made that, and then I also had another of these Hill Tribe silver beads, and it kind of looks like a shell or a nautilus bead, or snail shell maybe. And then I have some more of these Bali silver beads. That tribal look is something I really like. And then I just combined it with, instead of the hishi beads in turquoise, I had some turquoise, just kind of chunks, little chunky stones. And they're not all matching in color. Some of them are more bright and some of them are more darker blue. But I think that's neat looking, and I had originally made these to kind of coordinate with this bracelet, which I had made before. I had made this bracelet many years ago, probably at least 20 years ago, and I wasn't really wearing it anymore. I had noticed that the one of the beads on it, I think it's this one, I don't know if you can see, that bead has a crack in it. It had cracked and was actually broken but still strung, and so I hadn't wanted to wear it because I was worried it would just kind of fall apart and then I would lose the bead. So I had just taken it kind of out of rotation and was planning to repair it, but I just hadn't gotten around to repairing it. So I did repair this sometime early on in the pandemic, like maybe in March or April. And then this bracelet is fun because of the big turquoise chunks and then the big silver beads, all different kinds of silver beads. And I wanted something to wear to kind of coordinate with this turquoise bracelet. So these ones were born for that purpose. And this littler nautilus kind of matches with the bigger one. So, and I felt like I kind of have like almost a fish or ocean theme in a way, which is interesting for turquoise, because you don't really see turquoise used for like, or at least I don't anyway, see a lot of turquoise used for ocean themed jewelry. So even though this isn't a bracelet I made recently, I did restring it after I repaired the bead that was broken or cracked, and then I made these other two to coordinate with it. And then this pair of earrings was made with the table cut rectangles. I had some silver hex beads to kind of finish it off, and then I had some round, I think these are 8mm turquoise rounds. Could be real, could be not, I don't know, but that finished off the earrings, and they just have a beautiful dangle, and then the hex beads kind of sparkle a little bit in the sun, so that's really nice. And I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next set. So I guess I'll continue with turquoise since I have another turquoise set. This set, I'll try to lay it out here, was originally it was just going to be these two, and then it was also intended to coordinate with this, but I ended up not liking the way that they looked with this. I just decided like this turquoise and this turquoise are different, and it just doesn't really, to me, it just didn't seem like it was a good fit together. So, but anyways, following the similar line of thinking, I ended up having another color of that Picasso finish table cut rectangle bead, the glass bead, and I think these are really pretty. They kind of have like a moonstone look to them. They are not transparent but not opaque. They're like somewhere in between. Milky is what I would call that. And then I have some cobalt blue. I just love that color. Cobalt blue and the turquoise combined. And so I just mixed that with some more of those kind of tribal looking Bali beads that I had in my stash. And then on this one, I didn't have the faceted 8mm cobalt beads, so I incorporated some of these cobalt glass coin beads that I had in my stash. I have, for whatever reason, I have a lot of the cobalt beads in that cobalt color. I must have gotten really into it for a while at some point. And then I had this bead, or this charm, that was from an earring pair, and there was just one left. So I decided not to just throw it away, but I would use it as a charm on a bracelet, and it looks really cute together with the other bracelet. And then I wasn't satisfied with combining it with the other turquoise bracelet, so I ended up making a third bracelet because it felt like it needed to be in threes to me, and I didn't have any more of these table cut kind of milky beads, so I just used more of the turquoise and just more of the different colors of the cobalt blue beads, the coins, and then these are 6mm faceted glass beads. So that kind of finishes off that trio of bracelets. And then the earrings, I just kind of incorporated that same kind of design, that same kind of look with the earrings. I capped off the turquoise with the blue cobalt beads, and then I have the milky squares at the bottom. And I ended up deciding, like, at some point throughout the jewelry making process, like, I really like the way that the rectangle beads look as the dangle, so I kind of just kept going with that theme for a couple of different other sets that I made, and it just kind of got repeated. It became a repeated theme, but I'm almost out of my rectangle beads now, and I'm not sure if I'll buy more. I'm kind of trying to use up what I have first. But anyways, I really like these. The blue, cobalt blue, is a really beautiful color that I've always gravitated towards, and I don't really have a lot of it in my wardrobes. It's a good fall color though, and it really pops against a black, an all black wardrobe, which most of my clothing is black. So there's that, and then I will move on to another set that's a lot more fun and funky, and that is this set that is very, very bright. These are my summer lemons. And I just love them. I think that they are so fun and happy. I cannot not smile when I look at these. They just make me really happy. And looking at my wrist with all of these stacked on there, I can't help but be happy. It makes me smile. So I definitely do kind of incorporate these on days where I'm just not feeling too great. I will put these on and I'm like instantly mood lifter. Because I notice it. I like wearing bracelets that are in threes because you hear that little sound, and when I'm working, I will kind of like notice and look down at my wrist. So it's kind of just I don't know, maybe that's like a self-soothing technique that I picked up along the way in life's journey. But I wanted to, as you can see, I had a lot of different kinds of beads that incorporated that yellow color, and I wanted to find a way to use them all and use them all up. So, and this color, yellow, just happens to be one of my favorite colors. You wouldn't know it because most of my wardrobe is black, but it is a color that I really strongly gravitate towards. So, anyways, there are these, what is that? It's matte. I'm having trouble braining right now, but it's a matte bead, 6mm, just glass druck bead, and then I have a faceted, I think this is just faceted glass. I think that might be an 8mm rondelle. And then I have the same spacer beads, the Bali spacer beads, and then this bead. I don't know that this is a Bali bead, but I think it may be silver, and there was just one of it. So I kind of used that to cleverly hide the knot in this stretch bracelet. But not unfortunately, not all of the beads that I used or all the beads that I used or bracelets that I made had beads with big enough holes to hide the knots, and I'm honestly not that worried about it if it is seen or if it's visible. But anyways, if it was something I was giving as a gift to someone else, I might try a little harder to hide that knot. So on this bracelet, I had these other faceted 6mm glass beads that they almost look to me or remind me of like marbles. They are clear, but then they have the opaque yellow kind of mixed in there. So I combined those with the matte yellow, and then these Bali beads always remind me of Easter eggs. They're fun. And then this last one, I had incorporated some of these coin crystal beads, these tiny little, I think these might be 6mm coin crystals, along with the other 3 beads in that same yellow color and the Bali beads. And these coin crystals I picked up from someone many years ago, probably 15 or 20 years ago, who knew that I made jewelry and gave me a piece of jewelry that either they didn't want anymore or that was broken, and they told me I could just use the beads in the piece. But it was a 3-strand graduated sized coin crystal necklace. So each strand had like, a graduated smallest to largest effect. And then the bottom strand had the biggest beads, but it had a lot of different sizes, and I've been able to incorporate those beads into lots of my pieces this summer and this year, because I hadn't actually taken that necklace apart. I had just been hanging on to it. It was still fully kind of mostly in one piece other than the broken strand, and I hadn't even taken it apart to see what sizes I had and things like that. So anyways, I made this pair of earrings with the same coin crystals but in a larger size, and then I incorporated some of those yellow beads and then the hex beads. And I as you can see, I like dangling earrings. I like earrings that swing and have a lot of movement. And then these catch the sun really beautifully. But I wish if I had gone back, if I could go back and redo these, I would make these with the coin bead at the bottom and be the bottom dangle so it would catch more light. But I still love them and they make me very happy. And they're just a really fun color. So I'll try to bring in another, I think I'm going to bring in this set here. And if I go ahead and kind of lay them out, these are one of my longest pairs of earrings that I have, like in all of my jewelry collection. I don't think I have anything much longer than this. I might have one or two. But these are, at first when I made these, I wasn't quite sure if I was going to like them. I was just trying to use up beads and trying to incorporate different colors and things and find good color combinations. But they've grown on me. I didn't think I would really love this combo, but it's ended up being one of the ones that I wear the most, because it kind of goes with some of the things that are in my wardrobe that are in heavy rotation. I have a pair of leggings that are crushed velvet in this kind of Merlot color, so I tend to pull out this set to kind of go with those leggings. Anyway, I had these faceted glass, I guess Hishi or spacer, rondelle, whatever you call those, that dark teal color. And then I have these olivine cathedral beads, which I think also have a Picasso finish on them at the top and bottom. And then my Bali beads again, and then my trusty dusty table cut rectangle glass bead. And I just ended up, I think when I made these, I used a color wheel and tried to pick out like a color triad or a tetra combo of colors, either like 3 or 4 matching colors that are on opposites of the color wheel, so that they would be the right depth of color, the right tone, the right shade, anyway. But I love the way they came out. In this one, I have kind of 3 and 3 and then 3 finishing at the back. And then on this one, I was running out of the teal, so I just went with more of the olivine and incorporated more of those Bali beads. And then on this one, I was out of the teal, so I just did the rest of the beads were, I think I ran out of these beads too, the red or the Merlot. So I just brought in more of these olivine cathedral beads, and I love that olive color. I used to wear that color a lot, but these are just really good colors for me. I tend to gravitate towards jewel toned colors in my wardrobe, and they look good on my skin because I am a fall color. If you don't know what your colors are, that you can look it up, but I'm a fall. I might be transitioning into a winter because I'm graying. But anyway, then I made these earrings. I think I made these earrings first, like after I made the first bracelet, and then I proceeded to run out of the other types of beads. So I usually, when I make a set, I try to make the earrings and the first bracelet, and then I see what I have left to make the remaining kind of jewelry pieces. So again, I've got the rectangle dangle at the bottom, my hex cut silver beads, and then my Picasso olivine and my teal. And I just love, these are so swingy and so beautiful. If I had to go back and do it again, I might add another little, and I might at some point do it anyways, I might add a little jump ring to separate these because they do kind of get caught. I don't know if you wear jewelry that sometimes it gets like stuck, hooked like that, and then you can't get it to like swing the right way. It has to like untangle itself or unhook itself. But either way, I still really love them. and this is one of my favorite kind of, it surprised me to find that it became one of my favorites and that I wear it more often than I anticipated that I would. I thought it might be something where I'd make it and then I'd realize it wasn't my taste and I'd give it away. But no, it's ended up being something I really love. So let's see. I have one in here that is, it is actually a combo. I don't know how I would describe this, but I have 2 pairs of earrings to go with one trio of bracelets. So I don't know what inspired me to do that. At the time I might have forgotten that I had made a pair of earrings for it and then made another pair of earrings and then decided to just keep them both, but it doesn't really matter. They're both cute and I'm happy with it. So this set started out with this bead that is kind of reminding me of a shell or some kind of, I don't know, some kind of a shell it looks like to me, but it's a Hill Tribe silver bead. It's a little bit tarnished, but I kind of don't mind that tarnished look. And then I have these, I cannot remember the name of this bead. If I can remember, if I can figure out what it was, I'll put it in the description box. But it's, I think it might be a manufactured stone, and it looks like it incorporates malachite. That green is malachite, I think, and then the blue I think might be lapis, like lapis blue. So I had several of those. They've been in my stash for a super long time. I've always thought that they looked like little globes, little earths, and they were so cute, and I've always wanted to make something with them, but I never felt like I could make anything that would do this bead justice or do these beads justice, and it never became anything until this year. So I made this bracelet and incorporated these really cool, I don't know what that is, a pinch bead maybe, is that shape of glass bead, that kind of emerald colored bead. And then I have my Bali beads. I have some little silver bead caps as well. And then I made this matching one with, I was running out of the, or I was running low on the emerald beads, and I didn't have very many of these manufactured gemstones left. So I brought in some of these 6mm faceted cobalt blue glass, and I just think that they're not the exact color of the lapis, but they're close enough that it does it justice, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be a perfect match, but I brought those in to make a matching bracelet. And then I didn't have a third bracelet, and I just made this one kind of recently within the last couple of weeks. But it was bothering me that I didn't have a third bracelet to coordinate with these, so I made this bracelet. And obviously I was out of the gemstones, so I ended up bringing in some of these malachite chips that I had a while ago. I had purchased several just stretch bracelets that were just nothing but different kinds of chips, like citrine chips and crystal chips and all kinds of different things, and I just cut them up and put them into my bead storage. So I brought those in because I thought that kind of mimicked the same green in the stone, and it would be kind of close enough, but it would also be nice, little pretty focal accent for that. And then I have that same cobalt blue and that same emerald green, and then I brought in a bunch of different Bali silver beads. And then for the 2 earring pairs, I have one earring pair that leans towards the cobalt blue, and I incorporated that with the little manufactured gemstone. And then I've added some silver feather beads to the bottom. They're just so tiny. I've had those for a super long time, and I just wanted to use them up. I think I had just the 2 last ones left, so it was nice to be able to use those up and just finish them out. And then these ones I think are my favorite by far. I hate to say that I have favorites with my beautiful jewelry, but this pair just makes me so happy. I don't know if you can hear that little jingle. Oh my gosh, it makes me so happy when I'm wearing these. it makes these little tinkling sounds, and if I move my head, it makes a little jingling sound, and to me that is such a happy little sound. And I can't help but feel kind of like I might I might be moving my head extra during the day to make those little sounds. Anyways, it's kind of silly, but it does make me smile, and that's kind of the point of jewelry, right? It's supposed to make you feel good. So this set, I incorporated that emerald color, and I did a little bit of wire wrapping on the top here. I incorporated some seed beads because at that point I hadn't discovered that I had those hex beads in my stash. I found those later. So that, kind of finishes off that set. Oh, I just noticed an error here that I'm missing a little bead cap here. There's one here, but not one here. Whoops. That's okay. You know what they say? They say the Native American weavers always leave a mistake in their rugs so that their spirit can escape from their work because they put so much of their life energy into it. So that's what I'm going to say that is. It's an intentional mistake so that my spirit can escape and won't be trapped in my jewelry pieces and haunt somebody in the future. So anyways, those are the set that I made with those beads. And I will try to, I think I have 2 more sets left, and I'll try to finish those up quickly so that it doesn't become this insanely long video. So this next set, these both are kind of similar in theme. So this next set is a fall theme, and I made these sometime just before Halloween, and I wanted to incorporate these beautiful goldstone beads that I had in my collection, and then I also had these glass drops that I've had forever and I wanted to use up, and I kept thinking they would look good on an earring as a big chunky dangle, but I never could figure out a way to incorporate them. And then these orange beads I had for a really long time, again with the rectangles, you guys. I know you're probably laughing, but at some point in my life I decided that I loved that shape, that style of bead, and I went ham on it, and I purchased a lot of it. So to me, these look like candy. These look like Jolly Ranchers or something. They look so yummy. Every time I look at them, I want to pull one out and like put it in my mouth. So I empathize with Brittany from Turquoise Street when she says that those beads look yummy, and she's always like having to hold herself back from putting them in her mouth, because I see that a lot with my beads. But anyway, I had these really bright, intense orange glass beads, and these are not table cut like the other ones are. These are just kind of regular rectangle glass beads, and they're top drilled. And then I have this, I think this might be a 6mm goldstone bead, and I just like the way that coordinates. I needed something to transition between that and the black. I knew I wanted to use black because I wanted this to sort of be like a Halloween theme bracelet or a fall theme bracelet set. So, and then these are 6mm faceted. It could be crystal, could be glass. I mean, crystal and glass are kind of the same thing. But anyway, so that's what I made this out of. And then I did just different combinations of the goldstone, the orange beads, and then the black and different Bali beads that I incorporated in from whatever I have. And there's no like rhyme or reason. Like, it's not like I have to make the Bali beads match from one bracelet to another. I'm just kind of trying to use whatever will make the bead end up being, or make the bracelet end up being the right length to fit over my wrist. Also, if you guys are watching this video and going like, those bracelets that she's showing are tiny as heck. Yes, they are tiny. These are tiny bracelets. I think I have a wrist that measures 6¼ inches, and I usually make my bracelets 6½ to give me a little bit of wiggle room. But yes, I have very small wrists. So that is that set. I love that set, and I wore it like the whole month of October pretty much. I just constantly wore it, and my friends, when I would be like on video calls with them or whatever, would be like, "Ooh, is that your Halloween set?" And I'd be like, "Yes." And then I'd like cha-cha it around so they could see it. So it just made me really happy. I don't know what it is about that color orange, but it definitely says Halloween to me, that color combo. So this other set is right in line with the Halloween theme, and it all started because at some point I had gone in a shopping spree to a bead store and picked up a bunch of random beads, and at one point in my life I was kind of like into skulls, and I had lots of different skull beads. So I have a ton of these. I had like 2 strands of these white skulls. I think they're howlite or some kind of stone. But I had picked up this beautiful glass bead that I think I picked it up from a local bead store. But they are super fun. I think this color red was something that I was excited to like emulate into the bracelet, and then I wanted to bring in the black to match, and I didn't want it to be too white. I wanted this to be really the focal, but I couldn't think of how to do that, and then I decided to use these seed beads. I think this is an 80 matte black seed bead that I had purchased from Artbeads a year ago, artbeads.com a year ago, and then these are more of those same black faceted 6mm glass or crystal. I don't know what they are. And then I have these are really fun. They're kind of like, I think these might be 10mm rondelles. They're faceted glass rondelles, but then they have like this little finish on them, and I think it might be bronze, not actually gold, but it's a shiny gold like color in between, and I wanted to highlight that by incorporating it somewhere into the bracelet. So I did I think these might be 60 size 6 aught seed beads that are gold foil lined seed beads. So I used those to be spacers and separate the red, that really hot red color. And then I didn't want to continue the gold between here because I wanted there to be like, I don't know, I wanted it to be like hot and cold, or like good and evil, or just something kind of like a contrast anyway. I wasn't putting a ton of thought, but I wanted it to be contrasting, so I ended up not using the same gold and just separating these black beads with these matte black, so that it didn't compete with the black sparkle of this faceted cut stone. Anyways, a long explanation to tell about that. And then I just had the one. I didn't make another matching bracelet for this set for a really long time because I think I was out of beads, or I couldn't figure out what to do, and I was kind of stuck. So, and I didn't know, I had a couple other options that I wanted to use for like incorporating into the set as like the main or the focal bead. So I ended up making this one. I'm pretty sure that these were the last of that same red, and I did the same thing where I brought those gold foil lined seed beads in, and then I did also incorporate more of the black 6mm faceted glass, or faceted whatever it is, crystal. And then I have this skull bead. It does lay funky when I wear it. It doesn't always lay. It doesn't lay up, which I wish it would, but it doesn't bother me that much. I mean, it's just kind of just something fun. But when I wear them together, I usually kind of like stagger so that the red and the black are sharp contrast against each other, and so that the two skulls aren't like competing with each other. And then I made this one because I needed another piece, and then I thought that, this is a lot of red at this point. Like, it's half of each of these bracelets. And on most of my other bracelets that I made, when I used bright colors, it was maybe a third or maybe half of the whole bracelet, and then there was a lot of other like silver or other types of beads in here. But this seemed like, okay, I'm getting busier and busier, So I just made this bracelet. I had these, I actually took these, I think they might be just glass, round. I think those are 10 millimeter or 8 millimeter. I'm not sure. Glass beads from a bracelet that was something I bought from somewhere, and it was just these beads. There might be some more, but it was just those beads, and then in between them were these little rhinestone spacer beads. And I wasn't really wearing it. It wasn't really my style, so I just ended up cutting it apart and using the beads from it to make something else. And then I had this bead in my stash, this cool little skull bead with like a wreath around it, and it looks like it might be hand painted or something, but kind of a really cool bead, and I wanted it to stand out. I thought it went well with this whole skull devil theme, and it was sort of something that I made to kind of wear with, I don't know, just as a Halloween themed set. So I decided, since these beads were shiny, that I would kind of use that same matte bead in between to separate them out and help sort of make the most of those beads, because I didn't have enough to actually make the whole bracelet. I needed something to extend the length to get it to be long enough. So that set, then I felt like I needed to make a pair of earrings to match, and I did make these with gold because I thought that it would look weird making it with silver when it had the gold kind of accents. So I just brought in some gold Bali beads and some gold head pins and eye pins, and nothing matches. I don't even know if any of this is real gold or what. It's just stuff from my stash. And then I have some little, like, I think those might be gold bead caps, but anyway, these are some pretty cheap little earring hooks that may or may not stay on, but I knew that these earring hooks would not bother me. I think they might be gold filled, and since I have a nickel allergy, I have to wear either sterling silver or stainless steel hypoallergenic type of material, or gold filled or gold ear wires. So they're really delicate and kind of small, but I think they're fun. Kind of coordinating earrings to go with these. I love that hot red. It's almost like an orange, but it's a really fun color. And I think this set is super fun. I had a friend ask me if I was selling this bracelet, and I was like, well, my wrist is very small, so if you want it, I'd have to remake the bracelet for you. But she never answered, so it's gonna be mine then. So anyways, that's pretty much it. I will go ahead and wrap up this video, but I hope that this kind of gave you some inspiration for what to make in the coming year in 2021. All of these things I made with stuff that was in my stash already, which is to say that I had a lot of stuff in my stash, but I didn't have to go out and buy anything new. Everything here was already in my stash, and I just had to, it forced me to be creative and use the things I already had. And the sad part is I had all this cool stuff in my stash that I wasn't using, and now I get to rotate this jewelry into my daily wear, and I get to look at it and enjoy it and appreciate it. Every day I have my jewelry displayed on my nightstand, so I can kind of walk into my room and see it on my nightstand every night before bed, and every morning when I wake up and I'm getting ready, I can pick and choose what's on there, and it makes me happy to see all of that color displayed. All my earrings are on a stand, and I can pick and choose. I usually start with the earrings and then go from there. But anyway, it's just kind of an interesting idea to think about, not buying anything new and looking through your stash beads or looking through the supplies you already have and trying to figure out what you can make with what you've already got. And even if I had gotten stuck and couldn't find a way to finish something, I just kind of, like in this case, I was stuck here and I didn't know what else to do, but I just thought on it for a while, and then I came back and made these two bracelets a month or two later. So I just had to kind of get some more inspiration and figure out what to do. And it's been nice. It's been really fun to feel like I'm getting
more out of my stash of my supplies, and then not just buying things and then storing them. And trust me, I have a lot of beads in storage, but I don't want to just have beads in storage. I don't really want to have a bunch of things that I'm carrying from house to house and moving around with me, or that aren't getting used. It kind of makes me sad to think that all of these beautiful beads were just sitting there, not really being utilized or seen or admired. And trust me, like, I look at my beads and my bracelets every day, and I like admire them when I'm wearing them on my wrists or when I'm wearing the earrings. I get compliments from my friends and from people that you know, see me out and about. I mean, I haven't been out and about since the pandemic, let's be real, but when I'm out somewhere during non-pandemic times, people will compliment my jewelry, and then I say, "Thanks, it's handmade." And that's a really cool feeling. It's a really nice feeling. And then they act like so impressed, even though it doesn't take a lot of work. So I will probably be making some videos showing my process. I will be definitely making more jewelry in 2021 with my stash beads. I did buy a few things just so I could keep making bracelets and earrings and necklaces and things, but I am trying to stick to this no buy, where I just make what I have already in my stash. So you'll probably see a few more videos coming soon with me showing my process and creating some more bracelets and earring sets. But hopefully you got something out of this video and you are enjoying looking at my collection of things that I've made this year. Anyway, I hope you will follow me and watch some of my other videos. Thank you. Bye.